There are many ways to make a painting. You can even try using unconventional materials to make a painting. For example, you can use modeling clay. It comes in different colors and it creates a very interesting painterly effect, a little bit of a three-dimensional aspect to it, and you will go through the steps of creating a clay model painting. Starting with the sketch, light contours of the portrait in this case. I'm using colored pencil because lead often smudges and messes up especially the lighter tones. Just like conventional painting, we're going to be working with values here. So you're going to be mixing values using different colors of clay. Very similar to painting actually, except you're going to be using your fingers to mix, not a brush. And this is modeling clay that I used for this project. To make a medium skin tone, that's the sort of a more overall skin tone. Because it's a lighter skin, we're going to use white, orange, yellow, and pink. In small amounts, you're mixing it until you get it right. For the lighter part, the highlighted skin tone, you're simply going to add white to that mid-tone mixture. For the shaded skin tone, I do not like using black at all to mix with colors because it dulls them. So we're going to use instead darker colors. And for the iris of the eye, you're going to use white and cool blue. And there'll be other areas which I will let you know which colors you can use, but it will depend on the portrait of your choice, because you're probably going to be looking at something as you're working on this. And it is a good idea to have an image to work from. So first you're going to be filling in lighter areas, the highlighted parts of the face. Adding darker sections where the shadows are. And in between, most likely, you're going to have mid-tone skin color. You're basically creating little shapes with your hands and filling them in, adjusting as you go along. It's a very tactile activity, and even though you're using fingers for the most part, you can use a toothpick or a popsicle stick to help you get into smaller areas or clean up your edges. So the reason why we're not using black for the darker sections of the face or portrait is because black makes colors look quite dirty and dull. Instead, we're using a combination of just a darker valued colors, for example, purple and blue. You can use black, however, on its own, and that sets everything off really nicely. It's a nice contrast to other colors. pupils are little black balls that you put in the middle of the eye. Black is great for eyelashes and eyebrows. It gives a dramatic look to your portrait. And for the lips, black with a bit of red mixed in and white for the highlights. As far as background goes, try to use brighter colors. If your skin is light, kind of beigey color, it's a good idea to make brighter background. Give it a bit of contrast. And you simply smudge the colors right on the cardboard. Blend them in with your fingers. Try to vary the colors on the two sides. I'm making something that looks more like a brick wall on one side. Once you've done the background, you can begin working on more details, bringing out some parts of the face that are in more of a focus, which would be, of course, the lips and the eyes. These are the important parts. So you may want to use the toothpick to give lips a little texture. Make sure your lines are going up and down. A little highlight in the middle of the pupil. A white dot brings eyes out and makes them look alive. Also a little bit of radiating lines around the eyes and the iris. And then you're gonna start on the hair. And the hair is a bit of a challenge, of course, because it's not one big blob shape. The hair is got strands, separate strands, and in our portrait we're gonna put a few strands down as part of a funky hairdo. And to do that, you may just want to roll little snakes, thin snakes, using flat part of your fingers. Try to get them as thin as possible and put a bunch of them around. And that gives a nice impression of wispy hair. We're using light blue, cool blue for the highlights on the hair. And the toothpick is a great tool to make a hair-like texture, just going up and down, creating ridges, uneven hair bits. You can break up the edges a bit, soften them. So you can use different materials to create a portrait or any other kind of painting. And clay is an interesting alternative to paint. Finishing touches, bringing everything out, and I also used a bit of pink to liven up the beige a bit. And that's pretty much our lady, made entirely out of modeling clay. I hope you enjoyed this, and please subscribe, make comments, let me know what you think about this type of activity. Thank you for watching.